Today's story is a little bit different and exciting. Have you ever wondered how the FIFA World Cup came to be? How did football become such a global phenomenon? In this video, we take a look at the history of the FIFA World Cup and how it has evolved over the years. The first FIFA World Cup was held in 1930 in Montevideo, Uruguay. The tournament was originally planned to be held in Brazil, but the country's football federation withdrew its bid to host the event. Uruguay ended up being the only bidder for the tournament, and they were eventually awarded the hosting rights. The first World Cup featured just 13 teams, with Uruguay winning the tournament after defeating Argentina in the final. The idea for a World Cup came from French football pioneer Jules Rimet. The FIFA World Cup was first started in 1930, but the idea for it came from French football pioneer Jules Rimet back in 1904. Rimet was part of a group of football enthusiasts who wanted to create an international competition that would bring together the best teams from all over the world. And so, the first ever World Cup was born, with just 13 teams competing. Brazil has won the most World Cups, with 6 titles. Brazil is the country that has won the most World Cups, with 6 titles. The first World Cup was held in Uruguay in 1930 and Brazil was the runner-up. They finally won their first title in 1958, on home soil. Since then, they have been a dominant force in world football, making it to the final 7 times and winning 4 of them. The latest victory came in 2002 when they beat Germany 2-0. The most recent World Cup was held in Russia in 2018. The FIFA World Cup is the biggest international soccer tournament in the world. It's held every 4 years and teams from all over the globe compete for the title of world champion. But how did this mega event get started in the first place? The first FIFA World Cup was held in Uruguay in 1930. The first international soccer match was played there in 1872, so it was a natural choice to host the inaugural World Cup. Since then, the World Cup has been held all over the world, in countries like Brazil, Germany, and South Africa. The most recent World Cup was held in Russia in 2018, and France emerged victorious as the new world champions. The next World Cup will be held in Qatar in 2022. The FIFA World Cup is a global phenomenon that's watched by millions of people all over the world. But how did it first start? And where will the next World Cup be held? Let's take a look. The first World Cup was held in Uruguay in 1930. At the time, it was called the Football World Cup, and only 16 teams took part. The next World Cup will be held in Qatar in 2022, and it will be the first time it's been held in the Middle East. FIFA is the international governing body of football. So, now that you know a bit more about the FIFA World Cup, let's take a look at how it all began. The first World Cup was held in Uruguay in 1930 and was organized by FIFA, the international governing body of football. At the time, only 13 countries were competing in the tournament, and Brazil was crowned the very first champion. Over the years, the World Cup has grown to become one of the biggest and most prestigious sporting events in the world, with over 200 nations taking part. To trace the origins of the FIFA World Cup, we first need to understand what FIFA is. FIFA stands for the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, and it is the international governing body of association football, as well as futsal and beach soccer. The first World Cup took place in Uruguay in 1930, and it was contested by 13 teams. Since then, the tournament has been held every 4 years except in 1942 and 1946, due to World War II. The tournament has been hosted by a total of 20 countries. Brazil is the country that has hosted the World Cup the most times, with 5 tournaments under its belt. The current format of the World Cup sees 32 teams competing in a group stage, followed by a knockout stage. The winner of the World Cup is crowned champion of the world. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with the most interesting stories.